Уважаемые дамы и господа,
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to Kremlin to the gala ceremony of presentation of credentials. In attendance here are representatives of 18 states from many regions and continents of the world.
и у каждого государства свои
And each of these states has its own national interests, its own history and vision of the modern world order. I emphasize this. Russia has always respected it profoundly. Advancing our foreign policy priorities and approaches, we always try to listen to our partners and hear what they say. We take into account their opinions and views. We are patiently trying to find compromise and middle ground.
При этом для нашей страны нет больших и малых партнеров. Любая страна
At the same time, Russia does not divide its partners into big or small. Each country for us is a value in and of itself. With each of them, we are ready to engage in equitable dialogue to step up our cooperation on constructive and mutually respectful basis. It holds true for our interaction in strengthening international stability and security, in solving the most complicated global issues. To the same extent, it's true for settling regional conflicts and countering dangerous threats, with international terrorism undoubtedly being the most dangerous one.
Россия выступает против попыток дестабилизации и расшатывания международных отношений, что чревато
Russia stands against attempts to destabilize and shatter the framework of international relations, which is fraught with chaotic and almost uncontrolled slide down to greater tensions in the world. We stand for united actions geared towards ensuring greater democratic and fair world order based on rigorous compliance with norms of international law and the Charter of the United Nations. They are underpinned by recognition of unconditional value of cultural and civilizational diversity and national sovereignty of the states, as well as their right to freely, for and by themselves, without any external pressure to determine their own future. International situation indeed is in need of improvement. It requires reserved approach, wisdom, responsibility. Russia, and I reiterate, stands for joining efforts in the interest of solving the real problems that the entire global community faces.
Надеюсь, что и вы, уважаемые дамы и господа, представляя свои государства в Российской Федерации, будете максимально способствовать развитию двухсторонних.
And I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that you too, by representing your countries in the Russian Federation, will assist to the utmost degree possible the development of bilateral and multilateral cooperation in the spirit of partnership, equality and mutual understanding. Russia's hallmarks are its sincere and honest attitude to our guests, our hospitality to everyone who come to visit us or to work here. Let me reassure you that you, as plenipotentiary ambassadors of foreign states, will always be treated with due respect and attention. We are ready to provide you with all necessary conditions for your work and life far from homeland. You can count upon the support from both officials, Russian agencies, business community, and public in general. You will not be shunned or apprehended. You will not be avoided out of fear to stain one's reputation or spoil an entire career.
Россия свободная, открытая и уважающая себя страна.
Russia is an open and free country, a country that respects itself, which is why you will have every opportunity to communicate and make new diverse contacts. Without it, one cannot imagine a regular, fully fledged activity of ambassadors and any kind of diplomatic workers.
Уважаемые дамы и господа,
Ladies and gentlemen, as is the tradition, I will mention briefly Russian relations with each of the countries that you represent.
сотрудничество с Гватемалой пока не столь интенсивное и разностороннее.
Cooperation with Guatemala so far is not as intense and diverse, but we seek to develop it further, to build up our constructive political dialogue and work together in extending our mutually beneficial trade. We see the same approach from the Guatemala leadership, hence my confidence in the promising future of this interaction.
Республика Сенегал играет конструктивную роль в
Republic of Senegal plays a constructive role in solving the problems of African continent, including due to its presidency in the New Partnership for Africa program. We're interested in regalvanizing our bilateral cooperation in energy, fishery and other areas. And given that Senegal this year is a non-permanent member of the Security Council of the United Nations, we will keep cooperating closely in the UN forum.
Бразилия. Важнейший стратегический партнер России.
Brazil is the most important strategic partner of Russia in Latin America. Our countries maintain a good level of trade and economic, scientific, technical and humanitarian cooperation. We work closely through BRICS and G20. It will be a distinctive pleasure to welcome to Russia this summer President Michel Temer. Our relationship with the Kingdom of Belgium is one of long history. Next year will mark the 165th anniversary of establishing diplomatic ties.
Мы заинтересованы в более активном развитии двустороннего взаимодействия.
We are interested in more active cooperation bilaterally, in restoring the volume of mutual trade and investments, in implementing new joint projects in energy, industry, construction, and deepening interregional cooperation. Our diverse cooperation with the Republic of Costa Rica is developing in a sustained manner in trade and economic, educational and cultural sphere, as well through the context of foreign policy agencies. I am positive that through joint efforts we will be able to maintain a good level of interaction.
Отношения с Турцией уверенно возвращаются в нормальное взаимовыгодное русло.
Our relations with Turkey are steadily regaining its normal, mutually beneficial track. On March 10, we, with the President of the Turkish Republic, Mr. Erdogan, had a very productive session of bilateral high-level cooperation council, during which we paid special attention to matters of energy projects as construction of Turkish Stream gas pipeline and Akkuyu nuclear power plant. We have outlined further plans in the context of fight against terrorism in Syria and political resolution of crisis in this country. To a considerable extent, it is thanks to proactive role of Russia and Turkey that hostilities between the Syrian government troops and armed oppositions were finally put to an end. We are aware of the role that Turkey played and we appreciate it. It also enabled us to hold the Syrian peace process negotiations in Astana.
Ценим всестороннее взаимодействие с Республикой.
We appreciate our comprehensive interaction with the Republic of Peru. It is our traditional partner in Latin America. Last fall, during the summit of the Asian Pacific Economic Cooperation in Lima, we held a very constructive conversation with Pedro Pablo Kuczynski, the president of the country. We argued for extending our ties in trade and investment, military and technical, and other areas. It is crucial now that the outcomes of these negotiations will translate into practical affairs. Relations of Russia and Nepal are characterized by the climate of mutual understanding and amicability, by proximity of our approaches to most acute international issues. I am pleased to know that the constructive level of ties between the two countries does not hinge upon immediate political situation. It enables us to work together on issues of bilateral agenda, cooperate fruitfully within the UN and other organizations.
Россия продолжит оказывать содействие нашему соседу и партнеру
Russia will keep providing assistance to our neighbor and partner, to Afghanistan, in its quest for national reconciliation and development as a peaceful, independent, stable and economically autonomous state free of terrorism and drugs. We will develop our contacts across various fields and keep providing assistance in training and capacity building of Afghani specialists. We see good opportunity to extend our mutually beneficial cooperation with Iraq in many fields, but primarily in fuel and energy. We support the Iraqi authorities in their efforts to counter international terrorism and extremism. We stand for maintaining unity and territorial integrity of the country, while taking into account interests of all ethnic and confessional groups.
Отношения с Израилем носят по-настоящему интенсивный.
Our relations with Israel are truly intense and multidimensional. In the recent months, we met 3 times with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and just recently we held here in Moscow a very substantial round of constructive talks. I expect the arrangements that we've reached will help strengthening interaction in trade and economic area, in agriculture, in high technology.
Как известно, условились продолжить полезный диалог по региональной и глобальной.
As you are aware, we agreed to continue beneficial dialogue on regional and global agenda, geared towards fair, comprehensive and long-lasting peace in the Middle East. We pay great attention to our cooperation with Tunisia in trade and economic area and military and technical and humanitarian tracks. We support the aspiration of all Tunisians to live in peace and security, and we will support its government in its fight against terrorism. Russia's cooperation with the Republic of Benin is always an amicable one. We advocate stepping up our contacts across various avenues of cooperation, including through coordination of resolution for relevant regional issues.
Отмечаем активную позицию вашей страны в деле противодействия радикализму.
We take note of the active stance of your country in its counteraction to radicalism and extremism in Western Africa. With the state of Qatar, we maintain mutually beneficial ties in financial and investment spheres. We engage in a dialogue on acute issues of regional agenda, including fight against terrorism and settling conflicts across Middle East and North Africa. We also engage in discussions on the situation in global hydrocarbons market.
Мы дорожим.
We appreciate the level of sincerity in our contacts with the leadership of Qatar. Useful contacts are maintained between our respective national organization committees for the World Football Cups that will take place in Russia and in Qatar. Our interaction with the Swiss Confederation is traditionally built upon the principles of mutual respect and taking into account opinions of one another. We highly appreciate the neutral status of your country, your authority as an impartial mediator in search for solutions to international conflicts and disputes. We are satisfied with the character of amicability in our ties with the Republic of Chile. We have established our partnership within the United Nations, APEC and other international fora.
На взаимовыгодной основе
Economic, trade and investment ties are also being made more profound on a mutually beneficial basis.
наш надежный друг и стратегический.
Kazakhstan, our reliable friend and a strategic ally. During our recent negotiations with the President Nursultan Nazarbayev, we have confirmed our mutual commitment to build up interaction across various fields based upon the Treaty of Good Neighborliness and Alliance in 21st century. Major effort is underway within the framework of the CIS, Eurasian Economic Union, OSCE and SCO. We highly appreciate the leadership of President Nazarbayev in integration processes in the post-Soviet space. In June, Russia will participate in the international exhibition Expo 2017. And this fall, we expect our partners from Kazakhstan to attend the Russian city of Chelyabinsk at the traditional 14th Forum of Inter-Regional Cooperation. We also appreciate highly Kazakhstan leadership in its facilitating and hosting the negotiations on Syria in Astana. Ties of friendship and mutual understanding that date back centuries link us to Armenia. Our yesterday's meeting with the President Serge Sargsyan has once again indicated that Russia and Armenia as allies support each other strongly and stand together advancing the process of Eurasian integration. Our countries enjoy successful interaction in economy, trade, investment area and military technical sphere. Our contacts are expanding in the fields of tourism, culture, science and education. Close cooperation is maintained through regions of two countries. And Russia is ready to offer its role as a mediator to help to settle the regional conflicts.
Уважаемые дамы и господа,
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I would like to sincerely wish you every success in your important and demanding task.
надеюсь, что у вас останутся
I hope that your work and stay in Russia will bring you the kindest and most joyful experiences. Thank you for your attention.